Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. Well, if you saw my last video, it was a range day. My cousin, and another YouTuber who goes by the Czar's Taylor went out and went shooting at my absolute favorite range ever in my life. It's a quarry up in the mountains near me, in the Cascades. And my cousin was a logger up there, and he knows those logging roads like the back of his hand. And he was saying, now just follow along, and don't turn left here, and do turn left there. And I was totally lost. Fortunately, the Czar's Taylor was riding with me, and he had his GPS voodoo on so that he could basically find the way. Though I doubt that the last few twists and turns were even on that GPS. I'm sure that the Google guys have never driven up there. Anyway, what I did the video of was basically us shooting a bunch of really ancient rifles we had. Well, my cousin brought one hunting rifle. He wanted to test some new loads in, and he was quite confident because a buddy of his did a laser bore sighting on it, and he got it pretty well spot on. Well, anyway, but the other thing I brought along a bunch of pistols. I didn't do much shooting. Problem is, I've run into a little bit of a problem lately. I'm right-eye dominant, and about a week and a half ago, I got up, did some chores, was about to have breakfast, and noticed that my eye was, well, that's funny, because I was seeing a little, like a line at the bottom of my eyesight on my right side. And about a half hour later, it had gone up to the point where I have about that much vision left in it. Turns out I have a cataract, and I've got to call in to an ophthalmologist to see if I can get one of these, whatever they do. I don't know if it's lasers or surgery, I don't know what it is, but I don't care, I want to get it fixed. Shooting is a bear right now. But I'm a collector, and that's okay. I can see what I got that I'm collecting. But what I did bring along that we didn't really show any videos of, but the Czar's Taylor is a young guy. And I thought, well, you might be interested in this. And I brought, I collect, among other things, 32 autos. And I brought along a sampling of my 32s. And they're right here in front of me at the moment. They consist of an FM 1922. This is a pistol from 1922. It has a grip safety here that you've got to depress. And this thing was based on the Browning design, basically. And it was after the FN factories were taken by the Nazis, they continued making them under Nazi control. And the Nazis issued these to their Luftwaffe pilots as a backup gun. Hermann Goering approved it himself. Well, he liked this one. This one, he didn't particularly care for the sights on. This is a Moss 38, and it's marked Surier on it, so that means this is an actual French police pistol. But it has these this weird, I don't know if you can really tell, but it has this weird rear sight on the thing, and it's very difficult to get a good sight picture through this gaping hole of a rear sight. So not the best thing in the world. It's a pretty pistol, but it's not the best for accurate long-distance shooting. Also, an Odysee. This was a post-World War I pistol made in Germany. The commission really did not like them making this, but it was basically that or go out of business. Odysee, and then I think Deutsche Works made it afterwards. Yeah, this is a later Deutsche Works one. These were made from 1919 till about 1924. And it's a good quality pistol. It also has a grip safety here, but it's kind of weird. When you push the safety in, watch, it clicks in place, and this button on the side here releases the safety. So you can click it in place, and now it'll shoot just fine until you have to push that again. It's a rather economically constructed pistol, but it's also just well made, very well made. And it's a good pistol. And last but not least, I brought a 1907 Drysa. Now, the Drysa, it's not really by Drysa. That was just I think Ludwig Loeb and Company made it, and they bought off through some other mergers. They ended up with the Drysa brand name, but von Drysa himself had absolutely nothing to do with it. This is the backup pistol that Manfred von Richthofen carried in a chest holster. Not this particular one, but this model. When his plane was down, it was one of the souvenirs grabbed by somebody, and we haven't seen it since. The Drysa went to a lot of great lengths to avoid the Browning patent on the 1900 Browning, but this magazine is an exact clone of the Browning magazine, and they're interchangeable, which is interesting. The Drysa has a weird takedown. To open it, you do that, and to get the barrel out, you actually use the lip of the magazine to hold down this edge here while you tip the striker. This is not, or the bolt. This is not a slide, and it very careful to say it was not a slide, because at that point Browning had the patent on it, and it's hard to do with this one because it has an extremely stiff spring, but you can pull it back like that, and that cocks it, and a little pin comes out that says it is cocked. Striker fired. Typical blowback 32, but it's a beautiful little pistol. It's a bit chunky. It's a slab-sided thing. It is top heavy and front heavy, but it does shoot well, and he really liked it. So I loaded up a magazine of each of these and said, "Here, tell me which ones you like." And he liked this one and this one the most. Personally, I like the Orkies, but they're 32s are a fascinating subject, I think. Everybody made them. The U.S. made them, France, Belgium, Spain, of course, the Ruby. I think he's got the Czar's Taylor has a Ruby. I don't have a Ruby. I'd like one. I got a lot of German pistols, and one FN and 3 Moss, or French. This is the only 32 auto one I have. The other 2 are 35s, 1935, the model A and S, which are the 7.63 French long, which is basically equivalent to the 30 Peterson cartridge that was used was going to be used in the spring offensive of 1918. It was 1919, I guess. But the armistice was signed, so they scrapped the whole idea. The Peterson device was basically an insert that went into the 1903 Springfield, and I think they even made one for the 1917, and they may have made one for other calibers as well. But basically, you take the bolt out of the 1903, slap in the Peterson device, and a sideways hanging 20 or 30 round magazine that's loaded full of these small 30 caliber, basically pistol cartridges. And the idea was to take your Springfield and do walking fire through no man's land with a fully auto, basically machine pistol, but made on a rifle action. Excuse me a second. Throat. Anyway, I brought along 4 of these just to give them a taste of the various kind of pistols you can use. But all I took videos of was us shooting rifles. Anyway, wonderful time, wonderful range. I mean, it's when you're not looking at the quarry and the targets, you can look around and see some of the most beautiful landscapes. Well, in Oregon, and in Oregon you have, if you like mountains and you like trees, this is just God's land. I mean, it is, or they call it God's country here, and it's true. It's just the rainbow at the end of the Oregon Trail. I should know, my mother's family were Oregon Trail pioneers. I'm living on family land here that we settled in 1860. Matter of fact, we've held this land since before there was a county to tax us on it. Damn it. I'm saving up money to pay my property tax this year, and then I'll be broke again. Totally broke. Oh well. Anyway, Uh, just something that, you know, us good old boys do is go out and shoot, because not much else you can do in the summertime around here. Though you got to be careful out in the country because, well, you know, it can be, it's a pretty high fire season. I mean, there's been a lot of fires up here, a lot of them. There were a couple of them close to me. I'm a refugee from it was called the Bitchute Creek fire a few years back. If you look back through my videos, I did a video of looking around when I finally was allowed to come back here. During it, I spent about 10 days, mostly in a Motel 6 in Tigard, and then a B&B, and then I finally said, enough of this. And I called my son and had him drive me over to my ex-wife's house, and I spent the rest of it at my ex-wife's. That was an interesting experience. Anyway, enough wool gathering. If you like this, you know, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. Or Rumble. I'm going to put this on Rumble as well. Oh, and by the way, on Rumble, please don't offer to give me help with my social media stuff. You guys are shysters, and I'm not interested. I've said that many times, and at least 4 of them are some of the earliest posters on my videos saying, "Oh, give me a call and we'll work out a deal that makes me a lot of money, or them a lot of money, and me a lot of broke." No. The way you get by with this world is you put media out there, you put content, and people either view the content and like it, or they don't. And if they don't watch. And if they do, well, they subscribe. Sometimes they even give you a like. Anyway, that's my media rant for the day. Happy trails.